Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Sword Art Online Alicization, War of Underworld. But today, we're going to be checking out episodes 5 through 8. And last time, we saw the first 4 episodes, 1 through 4 naturally, and honestly, it wasn't too bad of a way to start off an arc. I did think it was a little slow in a few places in the first 4, but once we hit episode 4, oh man, everything picked up in a big way. I mean, we got to see the state that Kirito was in, and it's not pretty because we found out that he did not fry his entire brain necessarily, he only fried his ego. His perception of himself was what got destroyed, so there is more hope that he can be saved than I thought. But then with episode 4, oh boy, oh man, I'm sorry, I have to mention episode 4 because that's when everything got interesting. We actually got to see a closer look at the Dark Territories, which is not something I expected, you know, because when they were talking about the Dark Territories and all that, they spoke of them as if they were just this land of dark, evil demons and nothing more, but, well, we saw that they actually do have a much more complicated society. They have an economy, they have a full-on civilization, and it's not even all just orcs and monsters and stuff, there are humans who live there. Also, all the orcs and monsters and stuff have souls. Human souls, so that makes it more complicated too. But the main focus of what we saw involving the Dark Territories was with 2 humans by the name of Shasta, yes, that was his name, and Lipia, and those were 2 citizens of the Dark Territory who were actually against the idea of going out to war. They wanted to end the cycle of violence because they knew a bunch of people were going to get killed, so they were trying to, you know, rally their cause to get people to say no to war, but bad luck. Just as they were doing that, some antagonists from the real world decided to hop in and become the demon kings of the Dark Territories, and well, yeah, war is kind of the only thing they want. This main bad guy who decided to hop in and become demon king here was named Gabriel, and Gabriel, there's a lot I could say about this guy. I mean, there's a lot I can say about these 4 episodes in general because you guys gave me a lot of info, so buckle in for that. But Gabriel, he's like this guy is part of like a freelance security organization who the U.S. government hired to go into the floating turtle military base. What'd they call it? Don't remember. Anyway, they hired them to go in there and procure their new AI technology that they were trying to produce, and so he decides to just hop in firsthand and take the role of one of the characters and just stir up some trouble. But the guy's more than just part of this private military security organization. Oh yeah, because his backstory that they laid out for us, oh my gosh, they've made him into easily one of the most twisted and messed up bad guys we've gotten yet. And every freaking bad guy in this show is twisted and messed up. There's just some major power creep, or I guess you could say creep going on here with these guys. Because at an early age, young Gabriel was obsessed with the soul. He wanted to find out where the soul was contained in the human body, or well, not even just in the human body, in just anything, because he was also interested in like a praying mantis to see if it had a soul. And he reasoned that, you know, a praying mantis, they can like live without their heads for a little while, so he thought that their soul must be contained all throughout their bodies. And then he thought, well, a human can't live without their head, so I guess the soul is in the head. And naturally, he wanted to test that theory. So he brings in his friend Alicia and, well, does demonetizable things to her. Yeah, it was not fun to watch. It was pretty dang gruesome and terrifying, and I hated it. But man, if it doesn't make you want to root against this guy. Because at the ripe age of 10, he had already done something like that to another human being. An innocent one, a friend, he just takes around like she's nothing. And he saw what he thought was actually her soul leaving her body at the time, so since then he became obsessed with trying to see that again, and he was never successful. Until he got into this world because, remember Shasta and Lipia who were against the idea of going to war? Well, Lipia decided to take matters into her own hands and tried to assassinate Gabriel right on the first night of him being there, but the guy was too sharp for that. He caught onto it, pinned her down, and choked her. And what do you know, he actually did see her soul leave her body that time, and he ate it up like spaghetti and meatballs. And of course, just to flex, he decides to take her decapitated head and present it right before everybody to show him that he means business, But Shasta didn't take too kindly to that, and when I say he didn't take too kindly to it, I mean he went pro-tag mode, turned into a giant frickin' tornado man, and just tried to take him out himself, and man, I was rooting for him there. That actually made me care about a relatively unimportant secondary character going pro-tag mode against the main antagonist. So, that's an achievement. Sadly, Shasta was unable to kill him. He gave it his all, but his attack was useless against him. He said it was because he thought that an attack filled with hatred and revenge would be incapable of killing a man as evil as this, who has never known the light. However, I was informed that the reason it didn't work was actually because he was trying to attack him using his light cube, and, well, even though Gabriel has a light cube, his flux light isn't stored in it, so the attack was useless no matter what, because he's a real person. Had Gabriel been a person in the game, he would have been dead easy. So yeah, I've been rambling on about all this miscellaneous stuff that happened in those 4 episodes, and it was actually quite interesting to see some of that stuff in episode 4. I liked seeing more of the Dark Territory. I was compelled by the stuff with Lipia and Shasta, and Gabriel, I hate the guy. He sucks. But he's a good villain. Good in the sense that I want to see him just get completely owned. But let's get into some of the things you guys told me about, like how apparently this adaptation cut a lot of information about the Dark Territories, which, dang, that sucks, because I would have liked to see more of the Dark Territories, but they just skipped clean over it, which is sad. You know, like how apparently Lipia was bullied for being the only woman in the Dark Knights, which it would have been some nice characterization for. She also ran an orphanage, which, that's a gut punch right there. Gosh. Also, apparently, cycling back to like episode 1 or 2, there was that part where those dudes were messing with Kirito. They were, you know, taking his sword and all that when he clearly couldn't say anything about it and he wanted the sword back. I was really getting onto those guys for being a bunch of dipwads because they're messing with a guy who has been vegetableized. But it turns out, apparently, according to you guys here, mental illnesses like brain damage don't exist in this world, so they just straight up had no idea what was going on, so I guess I can give him more of a pass, but... And also, as I was informed of multiple times, Gabriel seeing the soul leave Alicia was in fact a hallucination, but not really as much of a hallucination as it was an optical illusion, because apparently all he saw was like the reflection of the light going through the leaves, and one even said it was the light bouncing off of her tears that he mistook for being her soul. Also, apparently Gabriel was born in 1998 in LA, California, so he was born the same year as me and in the same state, so what an honor. Also, part of the reason that he ended up doing that to Alicia was because he originally planned on marrying her in hopes of seeing her soul when they were married, but as it turns out, the global financial crisis of 2008 happened, and she was being forced to move away, so he thought this was his only opportunity to see her soul. Yes, the global financial crisis of 2008 caused that, so, thanks, Obama. Dang, I can't keep rambling on forever. There was just a surprising amount of stuff to discuss about those 4 episodes. I mean, there were actually some cool talking points there, but it's already going to be the longest opening part that I've ever recorded ever, and even when I do cut stuff out, but let's just get started with episode 5 before I ramble on any further. Ooh, yeah, not a bad set right there. Not a bad set right there. I mean, these 4 episodes, they're pretty dang action-packed, and you know, sometimes with Sword Art Online, there is a tendency for some of the action to be kind of cool looking, but maybe a little hollow, but that wasn't a problem with these. I feel like a lot of the action had a lot of, you know, good heart behind it. Some good intention and motivation behind a lot of what was going on. You could like feel what was driving some of the characters and what the consequences of this might be if one loses. And we got a couple solid pro-tag-esque moments there. one from a secondary character who we really didn't have much interaction with before. We had seen them technically before, but we didn't really know anything about them. That was one of the, I've been calling them Mirror Knights. Are they called that? No, they're not called that. They're like the rotating blades or whatever, right? I think I'm remembering that. But that was months ago, the last time I heard them referred to. But that moment was pretty dang cool. Just rushing up there and blocking it. And then when that guard goes down, just switching to the next thing till she was blocking it with her head. Just that refusal to give up. It was, I don't know, it was pretty cool. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was just, blocking once and then the block went down. But even when the first block was broken, she just kept blocking with different parts of her body until she just had nothing left to use. And then just repelled him like that. I liked it, okay? It was cool. Usually, if a secondary character like that tries to get in the way of a big bad to try to protect, someone, they just get swatted aside like a fly. But they actually managed to push him back. And it's cool. You don't usually see that kind of stuff. And then my dude Eldre, well, you don't get more pro tag than your health reaching 0 and then surviving and your health just draining down like minus 40,000 and then just blowing everything up. Like seriously, that's what happened. I saw the numbers going up. For a second I thought they were like going, like ascending upwards. No, they went to minus 40,000. They were hitting him to below 0. That is no exaggeration. That is a pro tag moment if I've ever seen one. And his actually worked. He still died right after, but again, that's the rule. If you're a secondary character who gets a pro tag moment, you just die immediately afterwards. Your character just can't withstand a pro tag moment. Of course, he was the most important character who's had one yet, which is why his worked so well, I suppose. Compared to, the other ones we've seen with pro tag moments being ones we were barely introduced to and didn't know much about. But Eldre had a bit more characterization than that, He was the first Integrity Knight that Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kirito faced when they busted out of jail. So we've known him for a while, and he went down awesomely. Anybody who goes down with a pro tag moment, that's a good way to go. And besides all that, we even got to see more humanizing of the Dark Territory peeps, like with, who are they, the pig-looking ones? Were they orcs or something? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting, but how they had to sacrifice 3,000 of their own dudes to try to give them that shot with the worm things, and, all of them they willingly did it, because that's what she said. She said, like, we're all ready to go, we're gonna lay down our lives for this. They were honorable. They gave their lives for, what they believed was their cause, But, their chief was like, no way, we're not doing this. That's awful, because, just straight up sacrificing all 3,000 lives just up front like that. It's a heavy price to pay, not even giving them a chance to give them an honorable fight. Just straight up absorbing their life and using it for that. It's a gamble, a major one. And in the end, it's only arguable if it paid off in any capacity. They killed one dude with it. They took out one guy. It was an Integrity Knight, but he was actually one of the lower ranking ones overall, wasn't he? Like, he was pretty newly christened into being an Integrity Knight. And he was the only one they brought down. I think he's the only Integrity Knight who's gone down as of yet, isn't he? I think only, foot soldiers have died up until this. So, I guess that's the only thing close to a win that they've gotten. And they had to give up 3,000 guys for that win. They said an Integrity Knight can go 1,000 to 1. Well, they took 3,000 for that one. And they said that they thought it could take out way more than that. They thought that it had enough power behind it to wipe out, like, the ground troops. I think she said even most of the Integrity Knights, too. So, fail. They did not account for pro tag powers. Now that I think about it, like, the way their power system works, where it's that, if they believe something, if they have the willpower, they can manifest it into reality. They just gave everybody in this world the ability to access pro tag moments. Like, they wrote that into the power system, that if somebody believes hard enough, they can accomplish whatever they want. That is what protagonists do. And now just anybody can do it, and it's just part of the way their powers work, and honestly, I think I'm on board with that. Wasn't I trying to make a point about them humanizing them? I was, and it just kind of trailed off a little bit, but yeah. The chief was devastated, having to watch someone he cared about give their life, and all 3,000 of his troops as well. Yeah, the dude just was more noble than that, to just say, hey, 3,000 of you, gonna die. He was like, no way. Also, we saw a little bit of strategy going with the goblins. They did pull some neat little maneuvers there, so I respect that as well. So yeah, these 4 episodes, I was actually pretty impressed. They actually were pretty good. Like, pretty action-packed, pretty fun, had some solid moments in there. Not bad. Yeah, battle's not over yet. Good old Gabe has got his sights on Alice now. He's seen it with his own eyes, and yeah, he seems to be getting a little too excited about that, as is not at all unique to this. It happens all the time for some reason. But yeah, we'll see how that goes for him. We've got, actually we only have 4 episodes left in War of Underworld Part 1. I think there's War of Underworld Part 2, which is just Alicization Part 3, really, which is after this. But I guess that one might also only be 12 episodes, I'm not sure, but we're just blazing through these, man. But I guess time flies when you're having fun. So anyway, for now, gonna be it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That'd be great. Make sure to let me know about any other weird tidbits about this series that might have been left out of this adaptation. I always like getting comments about that. I mean, I got a lot of information last time. You know that. Y'all gave me all I could ever want about it, and I definitely appreciate it. So yeah, I had a good time. Hope you guys did too. I might like to sit here and discuss things more, but I've been recording for 2 hours, and my eyes are tired. So, till we meet again, I will see you guys later.